Okay, here's the August COVID update for you. Two things. First is a thank you, and a second is a reminder on the process. So I just want to start by thanking everybody for your diligence, mindfulness. Just like last year, we are so blessed to be part of this Lumen Christi community where everybody is doing what they need to do and being responsible and keeping their child home when their child is sick. So thankful. I am hearing horror stories from other schools and principals where they're getting kids that are coming to school that are COVID positive, and the parents are sending them kids that are super sick that are coming to school, and parents are refusing testing. So we have none of that, zero. We are very blessed and fortunate, and that's all because of you. So really, really thank you for that. I just want to remind you on the process, because this is where we are having some problems and some steps getting missed. And I really need your help. So on the piece of your child has one of the following going on. So they have a COVID symptom currently, like they wake up feeling sick and it's a COVID symptom. There was an exposure. So your child was considered a close contact. And remember, that is someone in the household with COVID positive or a social situation. So they were at a birthday party over the weekend and you get a call that someone at that party tested positive for COVID and your child was there. They're considered a close contact. And the third situation why you'd fill this form out is that they were feeling crummy on the weekend and you went and got them tested. And now it's, let's say, Monday, they're feeling fine, but you don't have your results back. You would keep them home and fill out the form. Okay. I'm going to show you where the form is. I'm going to actually walk through it with you. And then I'm going to show you kind of what you get in response. The reason this is so important is because we have many kids out at any given time for testing. And this is a extremely streamlined way for us to manage and keep track of who is out. As well as it's great data for us to have on how many kids are getting tested, how many are coming back positive. The dashboard that you see as well, data comes from this source. So those would be the reasons. Everyone has to fill it out. If you call in to Dana, if you call in that phone number and say, my child's home ill, they have a COVID symptom, that's fine. You can do that, but you also have to do the form. So you don't have to call if they have a COVID, you have to fill out the form. Once you fill out the form, we get an automatic notification that someone's filled out the form, and then immediately we're on it. So that's the quickest way to report, and it's the most efficient way. If your child's just out because, let's say they sprained their ankle and they're home, or you're going up to lacrosse and they're not going to be in school, that's a phone call to that phone number. But COVID, it has to go through the form. Okay, enough talking on that. Here's what the form looks like. Here's where you can find it. I'm going to walk through it with you. You simply go to our homepage, lcsaints.org, current families, notify school of COVID. It's the first drop down under current families. Once you're there, you're going to click on the link. It's right here. It's green. It takes you to a Google form. You enter the following information. So you would put in your email or your name, your email address, your phone number, and then you would select student. Then you're going to enter the first and last name of your child. So if you've got more than one child out, you're going to do this form for each specific child. So I'm going to start with my Julia. And then I'm going to pick what's the situation here. So does she have symptoms? She's waiting a result. She tested positive, or she was a close contact. So I'm going to say she's awaiting a test result. I'm going to pretend she was feeling sick on Saturday, and now it's Monday and she's fine, but we don't have our results back. So what symptoms is she experiencing? She has none right now. I tested her on Saturday. It's Monday. We don't have results. So she has no symptoms. Again, if your child's symptomatic, you would click what it is. Date of symptom onset. So I'm going to put in here, I'm going to put in there that her symptoms started on Saturday. it's now Monday and she's not feeling sick, but this is important to know of when she did have symptoms. Not a close contact. And then she had the test on Saturday. And then others, this is a required field. So I'm going to say no one else was tested. Click next. And then you would put any other information in there. Some examples of things are, please contact me at this phone number. Or we could say, Julia was positive for COVID 1 month ago, and that could be the date if that was the situation, but any other important information, and then you would click submit. Now, here's what's super nice for you. You're going to receive an automatic response from the school. Let me just share this with you on what to do next. You're going to get this email immediately. Hold on 1 second. So here, I think it's this one. Yes, so you're going to get this email back the minute you submit it. It's going to tell you what to do. And I promise you, when you find yourself in this COVID situation, sometimes your mind goes blank on what to do. So that's why we have this coming to you. So it says, thank you for completing the form. If your child is symptomatic, one of these needs to happen before they can return to school. So it tells you a negative PCR test, a note from the doctor, an email or phone call stating that you're not sending the doctor's note and you're not getting your child tested. Some people aren't choosing to not get tested. And then if that's the situation, they would quarantine for 10 days. And then while you're waiting the results, your child can't be in school, but the siblings can come and be masked. It will then tell you that Liz or the front office will be in contact with you soon. Then, which you should get from Liz, is going to be some more information. So she'll either call you or she will email you what some next steps are. That's helpful because, again, we kind of get brain freeze and we get kind of a little bit like, what do I do now? My child's symptomatic. What happens? If you have questions on COVID, you can always ask Liz. She's really kind of taken over that role of being the COVID expert on campus. But in the meantime, I ask you to please bookmark that site on your phone or on your computer so that when you find yourself in that situation, we can have a swift submission.